Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2, and in this one we are continuing our run on Big Daddy Black Knight, our Renault Magnum Classy truck. Now, a couple things before I continue part 2 here. Number one is I'm sorry for not getting this up and out yesterday. The reason for that is my wife had to go downtown to get her license renewed, and we wanted to go early, and then we had to swing by the clinic and whatnot. Just a couple average things. But because I have such a wacky sleeping schedule, or have had a very, very wacky sleep schedule, I was afraid that if I went to sleep when I normally do, I wouldn't have been up in time to take her out, and we might not have ended up going. So I ended up just staying up. And I didn't go to bed until 5-ish in the afternoon. So I'd been up over 24 hours, and I was exhausted. So that's why I didn't upload any videos yesterday. So I'll probably make sure to do at least one set of videos this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. Number two, I'm not sure what trucks to bring you next. So I want to know, what do you want to see? And I'm going to pose this question in the Reddit as well. So I'm going to go to my garage manager real quick. And I'm going to quick go over the trucks. You're just going to see the picture here. I'm not going to get into each and every one, obviously, because I'm driving right now, of course. So this is Scania Girl. It's a 10x4, of course, Scania. Very well modded. It's got a really nice paint to it. Looks really cool. I like it quite a bit. So there's Scania Girl. And this is Iveco Fire. It's an 8x4. I believe it's the Iveco Highway. I think it's the Iveco Highway. Anyways, it's an 850 horsepower. It's got a really nice fire. You would not believe how hard it was to find that. Truly, that a skin, just a good skin that wasn't like a regular skin for that. So this is Iveco Fire. This is Pink Floyd. This is my DAF truck. If you want to see Dark Side, Pink Floyd, let me know. 950 horsepower DAF, standard 6x4. This is the Mercedes. This is She-Devil, I believe. And it's a 6x4 as well. It's 978 horsepower. Probably the most powerful engine I have right now, because I haven't unlocked the 1020. So if you want to see, you can just let me know. I want to see, Scania. I want to see whatever. And of course, this is White Knight and Black Knight, which we're doing right now. This is Captain Chronic. This is my man truck. It's an 8x4/4, 910 horsepower monster. You're only getting a hint of what it actually looks like, so. We did this one. No, we didn't. I'm sorry. So this is no, this is She-Devil. I'm sorry. This is She-Devil. Their Mercedes, I forget at this point exactly what I called her. But you can let me know if you want to see the Mercedes. And then the Volvo Classic, this is She-Devil. It's another 6x4, 750 horsepower. That's a really nice skin, actually. And I've got it looking really, really cool with everything it has on it. This is another Scania. This is Red Devil. Basically, it's almost like the same thing as my other Scania, with a different tire setup, a different skin on it, couple of minor differences. And yeah, this is the basic. No, this is my Iveco Highway. It's an 8x2x6, 900 horsepower. This is Galaxy. Yeah, this is Galaxy, as I like to call them. And it looks really cool, but it's also a little bit funky. You've already seen, yeah, I've already seen that one. This is a modded in truck. This is the Actros. This is the one I was supposed to show you. This is the one I may end up doing if nobody actually replies. It's the MP4. It's like Mercedes' newest truck that's out, and somebody modded into the game, and it's really good. This is Mercedes 7191H. This is one of the two trucks that I have left from the mod that I showed you that had the 1632, which is this one here. And there's also this one. This is the Actros MP1 485EF. And that's another really good truck. I also have modded in a MAN F2000, if you're interested in seeing that. You've already seen the Scania 143. I have the Peterbilt W113EU. You see that's looking like really snazzy there, and it's caterpillar skin. That's the Peterbilt 386. This is the Scania Stax. If you're interested in seeing that, it's actually a really nice mod if it works properly. And then the Peterbilt 387, as you can see here. So if you have any idea of what you want to see, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to like randomly choose through like a random number generator or something of that nature. So, anyways, we're going to continue our run. We are towing 75 tons. We don't have too much further to go. Ugh. It's been a long couple days in its own right. I got a room to help overhaul tomorrow. I got my new mouse pad in. We are hooked up to the trailer, right? Yeah, we are. Brake was off. I have one of those anime mouse pads where they have two gel wrist supports that are made to look like, to be quite honest, the breast of the girl that's on there. That kind of funny part aside, especially for somebody at my age, I tried finding one that didn't have that, because originally I received one as a joke gift from a friend, and I decided to use it because the truth is I needed a new mouse pad. And it was actually really comfortable. I really liked it. And that one was getting pretty old and beat up. So I tried to find a new one that didn't have that kind of picture to it. And not only could I not find one that didn't have a picture, I found ones that were much more flamboyant than the one I have. Yeah, so I ended up getting one. I figured, if I'm going to get one, I'm going to try and get one that not only tones it down, but might as well have one of my more favorite anime characters on there. And so I ended up getting one that has the character from One Piece on there. No, it's not Nami or anyone that's part of Luffy's crew. It's Boa Hancock on there. So, and it's weird. It's different. The one I had was was a little narrower at the top and very wide at the bottom in terms of its design. This one's a lot narrower at the bottom, and it's got a really wide mouse pad area. I actually kind of like that idea, but it's taking some getting used to. It's a running joke with my wife at this point, but...
What?
My mouse pad.
Oh, it's not a running joke, it's tits.
See? If I could help it, I wouldn't get one that looks like this, but I can't. I cannot find one that does not have a picture like that. I looked. All the ones that have like these gel wrist supports have a single bar across the bottom, and that ends up cutting off my circulation. And I can't, it's not comfortable. The way this is set up, it's got a concave in the middle of it where your wrist sits, and it supports the outside of your wrist, and it doesn't cut the circulation off. So it's much more comfortable. So I decided I'm just going to stick with it. At least this time they packed it properly. It came straight out of China. The last one I bought, they just sent it in an envelope, and it's what helped speed up its demise. Because I hadn't had my old mouse pad that long. I really haven't. I really didn't have my mouse pad all that long. About 8 months or so. And it just, that edge kept falling, was falling apart, and there was nothing I could do to fix it. It was like that when I got it. I tried fixing a couple times, and nothing would take. So I just used it, and I tried to be very gentle with it, and it started falling apart. So I went and just put it back together as best I could, and then when I realized it was just going to deteriorate and it was actually starting to get uncomfortable because of the way it was, I ordered a new one. My God, did they pack that thing in. I damn near needed a chainsaw to get through the tape they put around the box. Let me know how the sound is. I realize that my sound, for whatever reason, keeps changing. And when I looked at the master volume in this game, it was actually up higher than it needed to be, so I turned it back down. I don't know how these volumes continue to change. Like, my microphone volume went up, my game volume went up, and I never touched them, so it's rather aggravating, to be honest. Well, we don't have that much further to go. 370, about 75 kilometers almost. It should be a nice smooth run. I was surprised I went as long as I did without winding down yesterday any earlier. I mean, I literally walked in the door, sat down. I tried to do a recording, and I actually made it through the recording, but I was sitting here with my head back, talking, falling asleep at the very end of it. And I was like, all right, now I can upload these guys. I can upload this. I said, no, wait, I have to render it, and rendering usually takes around, the least amount of time I've ever had a rendering take is about a half hour. The longest is like 3 to 4 hours, depending on the video and how it's got to resize it and all that. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be up long enough to start this uploading. So I ended up not uploading the video, and I just deleted it and decided to start over. I'll tell you guys, so I'm really stoked about American Truck coming out soon. I really am. I am a little, like, I don't know, depressed, I guess to say, because the new systems, the PS4 and then the Xbox One, are rolling out very soon. And so everybody's going to be, like, all over that. It's going to be a little depressing because channels like mine that focus a lot on PC and that don't have a lot of viewers are going to have very little chance of getting anything for a while. Unless we get, like, exceptionally lucky. I know that this group, Screen Junkies, and I know who Screen Junkies are, started following me. It says on Google+, which, oh boy, I don't know what YouTube's thinking when it did that. They just go and they make these changes, and that they say, oh, well, our demographics show that people are actually pleased with this. Oh yeah, really? Is that why 99% of the videos I come across about this new change about integrating Google Plus into YouTube is negative? It's either lies, or they specifically find people who like it and then they just ignore the rest. Every time YouTube has made a change to its system, it's been met with overwhelming negativity. But the reality is that YouTube knows what it can do. You know, it can do whatever it wants. It's as simple as that. YouTube can do whatever it wants, because where else are you going to go? There's no other social or media site like YouTube where you can share videos like this and all the videos that you see all over the place. There's nowhere else you can go for a social sharing, media sharing site like this. I mean, they're out there, but they don't even come close to touching YouTube right now. And until some website does, until some web company does, YouTube and Google are going to be able to do whatever the hell they want. It's not going to matter. You know, it's like giant corporations. They can charge and do whatever they want until another corporation finally comes along and knocks them off the platform. And I'll give you an example. Here in Hawaii, there was a bus company. They're still around, but they were the biggest bus company on the island. They're called Roberts Hawaii. Nobody could touch Roberts Hawaii in terms of the fleet of buses it could put on the road. So basically, they were, top dog by a mile. The other competing bus companies were very small in comparison. Very, very small in comparison. Plus Roberts had almost all the school bus contracts and, just pretty much everything. So anytime that cruise ships or big functions, company functions, would come into town, Roberts would always handle the contracts. So Roberts was comfortable in letting itself be a big company. And basically what that meant is a lot of their buses, including their higher end buses, started getting into disrepair. Yeah. And they didn't care. Yeah, nobody could match the amount of buses they could put on the road. But a lot of the buses they had actually didn't meet safety codes. There were plenty of buses that I drove. I'm really not going to stop in time. Whew. There were plenty of buses, especially some that I drove, that shouldn't have been on the road. There was one bus I'd step on the brake and I would lose air pressure faster than it could refill it. I actually at red lights had to put on the anchor in order to not run out of air. It was really scary. And they just didn't care. They just didn't care. They ended up making me finish dropping the people that were in the bus off when I radioed in and told them about the problem. Now, as a responsible bus driver, you would say, well, why'd you take the bus out? You shouldn't have taken the bus out in the first place. You're right. Problem is that this was for a major function that had just come in. And I don't forget which major function it was. But when they have like big major functions like this, what they usually are supposed to do is have their mechanics go around and pre-check, pre-trip as they call it, the buses. They do all the pre-trips for the buses and they start them up, have them running, have the air up so that when the drivers get there, I know I didn't look, when the drivers get there, we can just get into our buses and go. So why wouldn't I trust our mechanics? They are our mechanics after all, right? So I got into the bus and I just drove off and I wasn't exactly looking at the air gauges. And then I came to this red light and I hit the brakes and I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I notice that this gauge is, dropping. And not very slowly, at actually an alarming rate for an air gauge. And I looked and I realized what was happening. It just kept going down, down, down. And then I noticed it went past the safety point where the compressor is supposed to kick back in to push it back up. And it just kept going down, 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 down. And I immediately put the anchor lock on and, it built back up. And I radioed them in and I told them, and they said, all right, just complete your run in a bus that's not safe with people, 40 of them, and then go drop it off at the shop. Really. If I had presented that bus to a police officer, it would have been pulled off the road and the company would have been fined. And that's just one example. They had lots of buses. Some of the buses were older than I was. They actually would still be older than I am, but I'm talking about at the time. I drove buses from the 70s. These were old buses. And, anyways, I'm getting off the point. The point is that nobody could touch them, so they didn't care. They didn't treat their drivers with very much respect. They didn't treat their vehicles with very much respect. They could do whatever they want. They could charge what they want because nobody could touch them. And I actually mentioned to one of the drivers, I said, it's only a matter of time. He goes, what are you talking about? I said, it's only a matter of time before some major corporation comes in here and buys out one of these smaller companies and then starts outfitting them with the buses that they need. And Roberts is going to find itself in a very vastly growing sinkhole. And he laughed. He said, oh, yeah, right. He said, nobody can touch Roberts. Nobody can put the fleet of buses on the road that we can. And nobody would spend the time to invest the money to do that. I was like, all right, well, we'll see. About a year later, the bus company known as Polynesian Adventure Tours gets bought out. Right? Norwegian Cruise Lines had just built and put to water 2 new cruise ships, and they just overhauled a 3rd one. And all 3 boats were put onto Hawaiian tours. I guess I'm not sure why all 3 were. I don't know if they were meant to stay originally or not, and plans changed when the economy crashed. Because this all happened before the economy crashed, and we hit like a second, not a mini depression or whatever. But they put these new boats in, and they would put them all into Hawaiian waters to do Hawaii tours. So we literally had 2 to 3 boats in the harbor at all times. Well, rather than pay Roberts to field their buses all day, every day, they bought out Polynesian Adventure Tours and started outfitting them with new buses. So immediately Roberts lost all the Norwegian Cruise Lines contracts, because now Norwegian Cruise Lines had its own bus company on the island. And it didn't take 6 months before the company expanded. Not even 6 months before they had buses, minibuses. They had almost a whole new fleet. And what ended up happening? Roberts lost almost everything. Almost every contract on Roberts vanished and went to Polynesian Adventure Tours, because they had newer buses, they had better buses, they had the backing of a major company. Just everything, everything. They had everything. And I wasn't working for Roberts by that time anymore. So, there you go. And until I am going through all that, if you actually stayed to listen to it that long, all of that basically comes back to YouTube. Right now, YouTube is in the position that Roberts was in. Nobody can touch them. Nobody's a social media giant that's, in sharing of videos like they are. The only one that I know of personally that comes anywhere like within the same galaxy as YouTube, maybe, is Dailymotion. But until somebody actually decides to directly compete with YouTube and actually has the money and the backing, the company, the power, the strategy, and all that to tangle with Google and YouTube, then it's never going to change. YouTube's just going to do whatever they want, however they want, and we as people who use YouTube made YouTube popular and continue to help keep YouTube popular. We're going to just have to swallow whatever they throw at us. It's that simple. It's never going to change. Which is, like I said, it's sad because it's the people that they're screwing over that help make YouTube popular. It's us, the people, from small little channels like mine to mega huge monster channels, from, big groups like Machinima and Next Gen, to solos like Nigahiga, Smosh, and Total Biscuit. Guys like them that make YouTube popular. And that's just how it's going to be. Because the only other way to get YouTube to listen is if we were to unify and stop using YouTube, which it's not going to happen. People are not going to stop watching YouTube. So, is that the UFO again? Yeah, that's the UFO again. It was cool last time, but after you see it a couple times, meh, you know. Let's pop out of the truck real quick because we're on a nice straightaway. And let's just take a look at her rolling. I was hoping to catch. Other way. Ah, damn it. Come on, one more. Nope, get in the truck before you hit the guardrail. We still got a straightaway to go. So I'm going to try one more time. Ah, damn. No, that's not what I meant. That's what I meant. Really? I'm drifting already that far? That ain't right. There we go. That's what I want. I wanted the lights on the train, is what I wanted. I'm really liking Hearthstone. It's a lot of fun to play. I hate playing against priests though because of mind control. And I'm glad it's getting nerfed. Mind control's actually getting nerfed, so it costs 10 mana crystals to use. So, but the thing is I don't know how you average deck mana curve for just your average deck, not a deck that's specifically built towards any single thing like a Miracle Rogue or Quick Draw Paladin or whatever deck, you know, as I've heard the names and seen some of the decks that people use. I'm just talking in general, you know, guy starting out that doesn't have a lot of decks, you know, a lot of cards to make decks with. That's what I'm interested in. I don't know what the general mana curve is supposed to look like. So, but the decks that I have, you know, for the standard play, actually do seem to kind of work, which is pretty cool. I actually like that idea. I actually like the fact that they can win against the average player. Not a pro, not somebody who's actually doing competitive, like I think one guy's called Trump or Trumps, or I think there's another guy I like to watch called J-Mac. Yeah, not them. Not against people who have tons and tons of cards and can actually build decks specifically built around certain things. Like, I know a Paladin deck I already want to build, but I gotta get the cards in order to build the deck. So, ergo, pardon me. Ergo, it's going to be a while before I can actually put that Paladin deck together. So, we're almost finished with this run. Only, well, we got about 25 kilometers left to go. Yeah. Not a challenge for Big Daddy. Not a challenge at all. Actually, I should be safe in this lane. And what ending would it be in the French area? Well, I guess because the sun is peaking on the horizon, that means it's okay to shut all the lights off in the dark. Just all the lights turn off at the toll booth. I'm like, what? And I realize it's like you can just barely see the sun. I'm shifting too fast. You can just see the sun peeking up over the horizon. Well, not even. You can just see the color of the sun that's coming up to the horizon. I'm like, oh, I guess it's okay to shut the lights off, even though it's still dark out. Come on. I guess it's almost appropriate, though, for Black Knight here to be driving into the rising sun as we complete our journey. I don't know what that question mark is. I'm going to go out and check mods today. I haven't checked mods in almost a week. See what new skins, if there's any new trucks, things like that available. Perpignan? Is that what that's called? Perpignan? Ah, it's just a recruitment agency. It looks like there's a dealership here, and I'm going to buy that garage and probably do my next trip from here. Ooh. Yeah, I saw that happening. I wonder if I can just turn away from the edge and... Yeah, there we go. I did not swing that wide enough. Car, what are you doing? Car, stop. Yeah, that was a bad corner on my part. But it's alright, we didn't hit any cars and hoolies, so... One bad corner is not terrible. Oh, Big Daddy. Big Daddy Black Knight. You're so awesome. Well, this shouldn't be too difficult to back in. Except for the fact that maneuvering Big Boy, yeah, Big Daddy is not the easiest thing in the world. Because, again, that long chassis coming back to bite me in the backside. Now, I know I can't see right now, but I know it's next to that container. I can just see the edge of the white line. Oops, I turned a little too far in the wrong direction. Yeah, that's not how I want it. I want to go this way more. And then back this way. And start counter steering so that we can push it straight before we get too far out. Oh, no. Oh yeah, that's going to be good enough right there. Alright, then we got excellent. Good, no damage to the cargo. And we reached level 26. Oh no, level 25, sorry. We reached level 25. I thought it was 26. No, we've got to reach level 26. Alright, folks, so... Yeah, let me get out of this screen. Yeah, we'll just keep jacking on high value cargo there. And alright, folks, so that's going to be me done for this trip. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing you Big Daddy Black Knight. A very elegant, very awesome modded Renault Magnum. And I really hope that the past couple videos, White Knight and Black Knight, shows you just what the Renaults can be if you go and look for the mods. They can be truly awesome trucks. There's no reason to rag on them. Yeah, the vanilla trucks don't hold up against the vanilla trucks in the game for the other companies, but that doesn't mean they're bad trucks. And you can really make something special of them if you go and try, if you go and look for it. So I really recommend that you go and look for the mods. If you like Renaults, you can make them what you want them to be. It's just a matter of finding the mods. Alright? So that's going to be me done for this video, folks. Again, I really hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugger signing out. And I'll see you on the road.